Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is Pool Chapter 57, and this one is titled Silently Claimed. Please, this whole night has started terribly, you cried internally as the girls gushed over your outfit. A waiter walked past with flutes of non-alcoholic drinks on a tray, and you quickly took one as he passed, taking some awkward sips on it to keep your mouth full so you didn't have to engage in any conversation. Miss Lynn, Aizawa's voice said from behind you, and you turned around with mouth half full to face him. You hummed in question before trying to swallow the drink down. A word, if I may, he said in a low voice. Now what's wrong? You thought as you handed the now empty flute to a different waiter, who just so happened to be walking by, and followed Aizawa out of the hall. He led you back outside, and you glanced around nervously to make sure that the chef wasn't still around. He left, Aizawa said over his shoulder without looking at you. Oh, you could see me looking for him, you commented. I felt your unease, he replied, and you smiled a little. It's a nice feeling to feel like someone is in tune with you. Silently you followed him further into the garden, wondering where he was taking you, as it was a fair distance from the house now. Where are we going? You asked curiously. He didn't reply. Aizawa? He finally stopped and turned to face you, his bloodshot eyes stopping you in your tracks. I never got a chance to tell you that you look beautiful, he stated, his compliment sounding more like a fact than a compliment. His comment was flattering, maybe because it was coming from him and you enjoyed any comment from him, but to be quite frank, you were over all this unnecessary attention, and you replied a little more despondently than he was expecting. I just want to get out of this dress, you said sadly. I've been here for about a half hour and I honestly just want to go. I must admit, I feel the same way, he agreed, stepping towards you. Can we leave though? That's going to look suspicious if we leave at the same time, you said, still crestfallen. He closed the gap between yourself and him and reached out for your hand, which you allowed him to take in his own. We do need to discuss things, he said, the light from the house in the distance catching his face in just the right light to highlight his features. Subconsciously you bit into your bottom lip and glanced at his lips, then back up to his eyes, and he saw the way you looked at him and slowly leaned towards you, which you mirrored, and before you knew it you were kissing. For a moment nothing else mattered except for the two of you, his hands gently holding your hand, then slipping to your waist as your mouths moved together in unison. You go and get changed, Aizawa finally said as he pulled back from the kiss, and then leave. I'll leave shortly after. We can go back to my place and talk. You nodded, your core starting to ache at the prospect of being alone with Aizawa in his house. I won't be long, you replied, stepping away from his tender embrace and turning to go. You'll have to come up with an adequate excuse to leave. Walking a little faster now, you made a beeline for the hall. All the students had arrived by then and were having a wonderful time together, so it was now or never. This is perfect, actually. They're all preoccupied, so it will be easier for me to get away. Through the crowds, you spotted Yaoyorozu, so quickly approached her and touched her shoulder to get her attention. I'm so sorry, Yaoyorozu. Something has come up and I must leave, you said in the most apologetic voice you could muster. Oh, is everything okay, Miss Lynn? She asked with genuine concern. Yes, it'll be fine, but I must go. I'll leave this dress in your room, okay? I'll come with you, she offered. No, that's fine. You stay here. I'll be back in a minute, you said, backing away. At that moment, a waiter called for everyone's attention and announced the arrival of food, and the black-haired student's concentration left you for a second, giving you the opportunity to duck away before she had a chance to insist again. Speed walking to the door, you were out and into the hallway in a second and commenced your purposeful walk to her room. You hadn't gotten very far when the chef suddenly appeared before you. Miss Lynn, he said, stepping right into your path. Oh, you said with surprise at seeing him magically materialize in front of you. Chef, well, what can I do for you? Please, consider going on a date with me, he said, bowing low in front of you. You were surprised by his sudden request, not knowing that he was starting to feel the pressure of Aizawa's masculinity, considering their talk a little earlier, and fearing that you would choose the messy-haired teacher over him. I'm sorry, I must decline, you said in a startled voice. Please, he begged, still bowed over. Just one date. Please allow me the honour. I'm sorry, you said again, feeling very put on the spot, but I must decline. Is there another that your heart belongs to? He asked sorrowfully, his amber eyes filling with gloom as he looked up into yours. Oh, I can't say that it belongs to Aizawa because we're not dating yet, and I don't want rumours to start about us, but I also don't want to say no, you thought, opening your mouth to reply him. Well, I do have an interest in someone, so it would probably be best for us not to see each other, he replied diplomatically. Miss Lin, I have never met another as beautiful as you, the chef said, straightening and stepping towards you. Please, allow me one... That's enough. Suddenly a grey binding cloth appeared and wrapped around the shoulders, arms and face of the chef, covering his mouth to indicate that he was now done talking, whether he liked it or not. Oh, thank God he turned up at the right time. You sighed internally with relief, grateful that you didn't have to keep rejecting the chef. Continue on your way, Miss Lin, Aizawa said calmly, his arm muscles bulging a little in his white dress shirt as he held the chef in place. Thank you, you said, stepping around the still detained chef and picking the front of your dress up so you could make haste. I want to get out of here. I don't even want to know what's going to happen with the chef. Finally got to Yagirosu's room and closed, then locked the door so you could change in peace and quiet. And there ends chapter 57. Stay tuned for chapter 58 coming tomorrow.